Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to our channel and thanks for logging on. If you enjoy these videos, do me a favor and subscribe to our YouTube channel right here at Watchbox Reviews. I'd really appreciate it and I promise to update daily. If you love this watch, you could see it and you could make it yours on our website, thewatchbox.com. And today we are discussing the Omega Speedmaster Professional Mark II reference 145014. This is a model launched back in 1969, and initially the idea might have been that it would be the follow-on to the original Panerai Speedmaster Professional Moonwatch. Well, in the end, it wound up being more of a period piece, evocative of the 1970s, even if its design was born in the 60s. It is an icon of its era, 42 millimeters wide in stainless steel by approximately 45.6 millimeters lug to lug. We'll get a little bit closer. You can see that the watch is nice and short. The 45.6 measurement across the wrist is exceptionally short cropped, and the thickness of 14.6 millimeters is reasonable given the imposing size and shape of this tonneau-like 1960s and 70s manual wind Speedmaster Professional. The watch, all in stainless steel, has an impressive presence. It uses a standard size strap too at 20 millimeters. If you don't like the strap, you'll find a world of options in the 20 millimeter size. As you can see, it is a new Omega factory strap in outstanding condition, calfskin on the underside, alligator leather, large rectangular scale on the top, in a semi-gloss black bolstered with some body. You can see sheer-sided construction showing the layers of construction with a monotone black stitch and a simple Omega branded stainless steel pin buckle. Now this case is really an icon of the 70s. I mentioned that the watch came out in 1969, but this is not the shape people associate with the 1960s. The swinging 60s were all about round cases. The 70s was all about experimentation, and you can see that. The case is highly squared off and polished on its end. It has satin across its mid case, but then there's a long polished bevel that runs from end to end, and I hope you could see this to good effect on the camera, but the original radial satin grain that emanates from an imaginary center point over the dial, it is beautifully intact. It's still deep and pronounced. The watch looks as though it's been rarely, if ever, refinished, so it's a true survivor. It has scratches and evidence of ownership on it, but we don't, as a policy, refinish this kind of watch. A vintage piece is going to be maintained, and it's only factory once. Now on the dial side, you can see that the tachymeter is a little bit different than what you'll find on a standard moonwatch. Rather than being placed in an aluminum insert on an external bezel, it is actually silk screened to the underside of a mineral crystal. So you can see that the flange actually hangs out over the dial, and so the tachymeter is on the underside of the period correct mineral crystal. Mineral crystals, the transition between plexiglass and later sapphire. You rarely see them, but when you do, it's usually on a watch from the 70s. The dial is all matte black to resist glare, and you can see both hands and dial, original factory tritium, dead as a doornail, T-signed, and wonderfully aged, evenly so. There is no damage, no oxidation, no errant marks of amateur watchmaking on this dial, nor is there any on the hands. Outstanding printing clarity. As you can see, the original Omega Speedmaster Professional Mark II, still distinct right down to the serifs, the registers, countersunk with a little bit of a change of plane to differentiate the different spaces of the dial, make them easier to read, and also break up what would otherwise be a somewhat monotonous mass. This was a utilitarian timepiece, but it was not a timepiece designed without references to design nuance and beauty. So you have those sunken registers on the dial, the hippocampus on the caseback, reminding you that created in 1957, the Speedmaster was originally part of the Seamaster water-resistant watch family. That's why there is a seahorse on the back of almost every Speedmaster. Screwed in caseback, we have a moonwatch caliber. Caliber 861, 17 joules, manual wind, 48-hour power reserve, cam lateral clutch operation, incredibly shock resistant, beaten away at 21,600 vibrations per hour. It was derived from the earlier caliber 321, itself based on a Lamagna 2310 Bausch. This is based on the Lamagna 1873, and to this day, Lamagna-based 1861 calibers are still used by NASA on the Speedmaster Professional Moonwatch, still flown and still used for extravehicular activity. So this watch has the same movement as well as the same pedigree as the moonwatch underneath the tonneau-shaped skin. This is a timepiece that brings the period to life with all of its original equipment, including all of its original metal, a moonwatch caliber, and a ton of personality. You can see and you can own this Omega Speedmaster Professional Mark II on the Watchbox.